Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Steve and welcome to my YouTube channel. Week 1 is in the books and now we are on to week 2 of the NFL predictions. So we start tonight with Thursday night football between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. This is going to be a high scoring game and in the end it's going to come down to one of the two defenses, and I got the Kansas City defense making the stop, so I'm going to pick them for Thursday night tonight. And now we have the Steelers and the Patriots. I don't know what happened to the Patriots on week 1, but they did not play their best, but hopefully things will change for them. And as for the Steelers, they won 23-20 in overtime against the Bengals, but they won last year too against the favored Bills. But as for week 2, I'm gonna pick the Steelers. We got a revenge game between the Indianapolis Colts and Jacksonville Jaguars. Uh, the Colts have not been able to beat the Jaguars in their home stadium for I don't know how many years. And I predicted last year that they would not make the playoffs, and yet I still found myself cheering for them to make the playoffs, but Jacksonville still won. So I'm gonna pick the Jaguars for I don't know if it's really an upset or not, but I got the Jaguars over the Colts. The Jets and the Browns. Browns won their first game in 22 or 23 years, I believe. And as for the Jets, they got blown out by the Ravens. So I do expect this game to be closer, but I still have the Browns coming out on top and with a shocking 2-0 record. All right, we got the Ravens and the Dolphins up next. This should be a fun game to watch. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Um, Tua played well last week against the Patriots, but I still don't think that he's the answer to the quarterback position for them. I still like the Aaron Rodgers. If he goes to Miami, he'll have quite a few weapons to work with and possibly make this team compete with the Bills. But it's going to be a back and forth game. So I got the Ravens coming out on top. The Texans and the Broncos both had a bit of a, well, maybe not the Texans, but they had a bit of a shock last week. Uh, Houston almost blowing a lead against the Colts, but they ended up tying. And as for the Broncos, they had poor clock management last week. And so with that being said, I think that the Texans are going to have an upset over the Broncos, and I got them winning it by a few points. Moving on to this column, we got the Raiders and the Cardinals. Should be a fun game to watch. Uh, Raiders won all their preseason games, but lost week 1. I think that they're going to bounce back from it. And as far as the Cardinals go, they did not play well at all. They were down at one point 37-7. But they did try to make a comeback, but it was by then too late. So I'm picking the Raiders over the Cardinals. The Cowboys and the Bengals. This is going to be a fun game to watch because Dak Prescott is out with a thumb injury for 6 to 8 weeks, I believe. The Cincinnati Bengals offense didn't really do a whole lot last week. Um, but their kicker also was not great. And as far as the Cowboys, their defense made a few big plays against Tom Brady. Um, I think this week with the Cincinnati offense, Dallas's defense will step up more this week, and I have them coming out on top over the team that lost the Super Bowl. Excuse me. Moving on over to the Saints and the Bucks. I don't know if you might consider this a surprise or not, but I'm picking New Orleans over Tampa Bay. All the Buccaneers are still undefeated against, or Tom Brady, I guess, is still undefeated against the Cowboys. But is he defeated in New Orleans against Jameis Winston? I don't know for sure. But we will see what happens. The Giants had a breakout game against the Tennessee Titans, winning it by a point, which was shocking. And Carolina Panthers also had a bit of a shock as they lost to they were favored against the Browns. This could be a bounce back game for Carolina, and I was thinking about going that route, but I don't think that the Carolina's defense is going to stop Saquon Barkley. And as far as Daniel Jones, he's all right. I wouldn't say that he's overly great, but you know, they're working with him, and so far it's working. So I'm gonna pick the Giants over the Panthers. The Lions and the Commanders. Lions had an outstanding game last week, but they lost again by a few points. So I'm going to give them a bounce back and say that they win by a lot of points, maybe like 10, 15 to say the least. In Commanders, you played against Jacksonville. This is going to be a much tougher opponent for you. Maybe not much tougher, but tougher than what they were. Now we got the Rams and the Falcons. There should be a bounce back game for the Rams. Maybe the Falcons get up in the lead again, and then they start to do bad. Their defense, whatever. But I think Matthew Stafford will have it figured out for throwing interceptions and different stuff like that. We got the 49ers and the Seahawks. The Seahawks defense really stepped up, and I think that Geno Smith is probably the quarterback now for the Seattle Seahawks. Um, I I don't know what happened because I know Drew Lock was supposed to be starter, but I don't know if he didn't play well in the preseason or what happened there. But Geno Smith, I think he's a really good quarterback and has a bright future ahead of him. As far as the Seahawks, they didn't look bad last week at all. But maybe it's because of their uniforms. They've only lost once in those. Um, and the 49ers last week, they had not the best week. Weather could have been a factor, but they got to step up compared to what they had against the Bears last week. But can they do that against the Seahawks? As of right now, I don't think so. I have the Seahawks coming out on top, and they jump out to a surprising 2-0 start. And I predicted them at first to have a 0-2 start. Now we got Sunday night football. We got the Packers and we got the Bears. Should be a bounce back game for the Packers. I think that Aaron Rodgers will be able to work with his receivers better against the Bears. And the Bears had a nice week 1 game against the 49ers, but now they're traveling to Lambeau, and supposedly Aaron Rodgers owns you guys, so we'll see if he still does here on Sunday Night Football. And our last 2 games on Monday night, we got the Bills and Titans. No question, give me the Bills. And over on the NFC, we got the Eagles, the Vikings. Should be a back and forth battle, but in the end, someone's got to come out on top unless they have tie, which is possible. I am going to say that the Eagles are going to upset maybe the Vikings. I don't know if that's really an upset or not, but these are my NFL predictions for week 2 of the NFL season. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, and I will see you in the next one. So, thanks for watching.